celebrate the ultimate fashion collaboration of technology and haute couture with the Metropolitan Museum of Art's 2016 Costume Institute exhibition, Manus Ex Machina, Fashion in an Age of Technology.
The show looks at how designers are reconciling the handmade and the machine-made in their design practice, and also how those categories are becoming more blurred and ambiguous by the shared sort of practice of the hand and the machine.
Hit the red carpet for the star-studded Met Gala.
You know, people always want to know what is it like to be at the Met Gala, and I'm like, well, I think it's like the next biggest red carpet to the Academy Awards.
It's just Tom Ford. Yeah, I did the fitting with the guy, and he made sure it looks DAPPER.
Looking at the women, the beautiful bodies all around me, that's like the most precious thing to me. I'm having the time of my life.
Famous faces and the fashion elite have the time of their lives at the Met Gala, all because of one woman's grand vision.
Really, it's become an evening that celebrates fashion on such a high level.
Go behind the scenes with the titans of Parisian haute couture and learn what it really takes to be called a couturier.
Women, they want to be more and more special.
Advancements in technology have inspired designers throughout history. From futuristic fibers to wearables, explore how the fashion world has embraced the latest tech developments. Plus, find out how designers are using technology in their own work today.
Technology has infiltrated our world. I mean, you know, so much clothing is now done, you know, on computers. But I think there's still nothing like a real fit on a real beautiful young woman. So, you know, you'll never replace that.
In every country there is beautiful fashion, huh? But in France we have the haute couture.
In France, haute couture is a term that is protected by law, and to earn the right to use the term, a fashion house must follow strict rules and be granted the designation by the French Ministry of Industry, which is reviewed annually. Haute couture is made to order and crafted by hand in a design house's Paris atelier.
Actually, if you look back into the history of haute couture, it was actually started by an Englishman, Charles Worth, in about the 1850s, 1860s.
Haute couture had its golden age in the 1950s when models paraded elegantly in couture salons, a time when designers like Dior, Balmain, Givenchy were still designing their own couture lines. And in the 60s, a young man named Yves Saint Laurent became the first couturier to open a ready-to-wear boutique.
It's a long way to make money in fashion, and to build a name, to establish the image, and that is important.
The label in a couture jacket is now reinterpreted commercially for ready-to-wear collections and then trickled down further into a plethora of international licenses. These fuel a business that couldn't support a couture line on its own.
Haute couture today must be used as a booster, as an appeal for the brand. Just like when you attend an opera, you will listen the diva once, but some day later you could buy a CD of the same diva singing the same opera. And this is the same with haute couture. We share an emotion, and in some days we would like to have back this emotion, and then we buy shoes and bags and makeup and shirt, and voila.
In recent years, it has been debated whether or not haute couture is on the decline, but it has continued to inspire and offer designers an outlet for creative expression.
It's where I can start to imagine and to dream again. There are no constraints. We're telling an emotion, sharing a story, and there's a lot of pleasure in doing that.
It's important because it's like creativity. I can do it more in the way and with the time I need.
Couture is not finished. Couture absolutely restart now, because, you know, women, they want to be more and more special.
Couture is definitely the summum, it's the top, it's the dream factory that trickles down into ready-to-wear, but it's nice to see and refreshing to see that it's not sitting on a pedestal anymore. It's really trying to become relevant, and it needs to be to survive. You need to be able to find a way to show that amazing talent, but in a way that people feel comfortable wearing it and don't want to put it behind glass and make it a piece of art.
What is important is the Fashion Week of Haute Couture in Paris, still very, very exciting. This is the most important.
We just made jackets with solar panels and chargers for your iPad and phone inside, but I think there's a lot of that coming.
Throughout history, the most forward-thinking minds in fashion have looked to technology to not only inspire their work, but also to bring their visions to life. By the close of the 20th century, the information age and the digital revolution had proved instrumental to the future of fashion, from the means by which garments are produced to the way fashion is marketed, sold, and appreciated around the globe. The use of technology in fabric innovation has been embraced by fashion, from development of new fibers for athletic wear to the techno fabrics of today's luxury fashion. Designers such as ISSEY MIYAKE, Miuccia Prada, and Iris Van Herpen have notably incorporated the latest advances into their collections.
We call it 3D steam stretch, weaving technique and steam technique. Final shape is almost same, but so process is very different. So before steam, it's very simple, the square shape, but if you put the iron on the fabric, it's transformed into the three-dimensional form.
I think it's about showing a very different perspective from fashion. I really believe in small areas that systems can change.
And I love the idea of experimenting so much with fabrics and making a big statement about the new technology of fabrics. Fashion is supposed to be new and it's supposed to always be something that you don't expect.
And it's the least expected that often makes a collection memorable. The showmen of the fashion world use technology to make a lasting impact at their runway shows. From Alexander McQueen's vision of android couture on the Givenchy runway to Hussein Chalayan's remote control dresses to Polo Ralph Lauren's 4D presentation in Central Park, designers have tapped technology in crafting compelling catwalk memories.
That was the most high-tech projection that I've ever seen. We saw Ralph Lauren walking on water and his hologram to stay with us forever. I mean, it's quite incredible.
The fashion industry was early to embrace the era of social media. Burberry was a leader in the digital fashion revolution as the first brand to live stream its runway show in 3D and the first to tweet each runway look before it hit the catwalk.
We have these incredible atmospheres, you know, the energy is just kind of phenomenal for me. And, you know, it was how can we try to find a way to transmit that live as it happens all around the world, and 3D technology helps you get closer to that because you can feel the fabrics, you can feel the colors, you can feel the energy, you can feel the music, but all of a sudden it opens it up to a whole new world.
As wearable technology has gained momentum, designers have jumped at the opportunity to collaborate with titans of tech. In 2013, Diane von Furstenberg partnered with Google Glass.
Super excited to work with Diane because we've really been working to make these stylish and comfortable. And when I think of that combination, I really think of DVF. Stylish, comfortable, effortless.
The innovative nature of fashion lends itself to a continued relationship with technology and a future where fashion dreams are limitless.
Technology, I mean that's changing fashion all the time. So we're always constantly having to look for new techniques of making things. That's what's great, that technology never stands still. It's always, which pushes fashion forward. So that's very important.
Since taking the reins of American Vogue in 1988, Anna Wintour has become an iconic figure and driving force in the international fashion industry, expanding her role of editor-in-chief and now artistic director of Condé Nast, far beyond the masthead, and proving her cultural influence outside the pages of her aspirational magazine.
I think that Vogue is such an important brand that everything that I do connected with fashion, I feel reflects on the magazine. So obviously, helping and supporting designers is part of what we do.
Since hosting her first gala for the Metropolitan Museum of Art in 1995, Wintour has transformed the charity event into the most eminent night on the annual fashion calendar. and has simultaneously helped raise over $145 million for the Met Costume Institute.
All the work that we do with the Costume Institute at the Met, I think, is also extremely important, not only for the Met, but also really it's become an evening that celebrates fashion on such a high level.
I met Anna almost 20 years ago, and I think she's an incredible woman, an inspiration to all. Her love, her passion, her dedication, a great mother, a great businesswoman.
It was Wintour's vision to mix Hollywood's A-list with fashion's elite front row, an agenda resulting in today's red carpet cocktail of star power and style prowess. In the late 1990s, Wintour began swapping supermodel cover girls for actresses, recording artists, athletes, and in the new millennium, even reality stars. It wouldn't be long until this recipe of beauty, drama, and fame would take over the Met red carpet too, winning it the nickname the East Coast Oscars.
Anna's really upped the profile of the gala itself and folded in figures from the worlds of entertainment and sports and politics, as well as the great fashion figures of the day and the muses who inspire them.
Wintour's unparalleled vision, leadership, and drive have made the Met's Costume Institute what it is today. In 2014, the museum officially renamed the Anna Wintour Costume Center in her honor.
We've been the beneficiaries of Anna Wintour's benefaction for so long, almost 16 years. And because of that, we've been able to completely redo the Costume Institute spaces. The facility is transformed, and all of that is due to Anna Wintour's support of our department.
I am so proud of her and happy and joyed to be working at a time with a leader in our industry that is so passionate and gives back. And it's such a great example of generosity for us designers and future creators.
Technology, I don't know I'm the biggest Luddite there ever was. What do you mean? I said, I'm a Luddite. Give me a needle and thread, a pen and paper. That's the way I do it. I don't know about computers, laptops. I did do a sketch of you on the iPad today, or your dress. Yeah, for Sir Johnny. So there you go. My iPad and my iPhone, that's about as much technology as I know.
The show's called Manus Ex Machina, and it looks at how designers are reconciling the handmade and the machine-made in their design practice. And also it attempts to sort of challenge some of the assumptions, some of the associations that the hand and the machine has, not just in fashion, but in the arts in general.
For their 2016 spring exhibition, the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute placed the spotlight on technique and technology in fashion and how the two intertwine.
Often the hand is seen as something that is about luxury and individuality, and the machine is seen as something that's about inferiority and mediocrity, and vice versa. The hand's often seen as elitist and about nostalgia, and the machine about progress in the future. So it's sort of trying to debunk some of those mythologies. But more than that, showing how designers are engaging with the shared practice of the hand and the machine. So there's very few examples of fashion in the exhibition that are exclusively handmade or exclusively machine-made. Often there's a synthesis of the two. Well, this is one of my favorite pieces. It was one of the main inspirations for the exhibition. It's by Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel from his Couture 2014 collection. And what's amazing about it, it's the perfect case study between the hand and the machine. So the train that you see here, it was originally sketched by hand by Karl, then transferred onto a computer to create a sort of pixelated Baroque pattern. And then the actual embroidery, first of all, the rhinestones were heat transferred, so machine applied to the train, and then hand painted in gold pigment, and then finished with hand embroidery with gemstones and pearls. So it really is a sort of like perfect case study for the hand machine sort of debate. It's actually structured around the traditional métiers of the haute couture, so embroidery, featherwork, artificial flowers, lacework, leatherwork and pleating. And there's also a section on tailoring and dressmaking. And these métiers have been in existence really since the 18th century, so it's showing the continuation of that practice. And then within those categories, there's a series of case studies in which the pret-a-porter and the haute couture are juxtaposed side by side to show the sort of, in a way, how those categories are becoming more blurred and ambiguous by the shared sort of practice of the hand and the machine.
One technological advancement that is gaining momentum with designers is 3D printing.
3D printing is really interesting, and it's one of the few examples of extreme technology in the exhibition, mainly because I really feel as if it could be as revolutionary as a sewing machine. I think that in terms of its democratic possibilities, the idea that you could have a machine in your house to 3D print your own dress, exclusive to your body, so it's the perfect fit. It's basically couture without the design sometimes, but I do think it has the potential to really revolutionize fashion.
One designer who embraces 3D printing within her couture work is Iris Van Erpen, whose fantastical and memorable pieces pepper the exhibition's galleries.
I feel really proud. It looks really beautiful, everything together. And it's special to see the different pieces over the different years collected here. It's really, really amazing. To me, it's very natural to combine different things in one piece. It's in the end about what I want to create, about the structures, and I really enjoy combining my hand and the machinery work. It's very strong in this exhibition that they don't try to divide it. It's not about one thing or the other thing, it's about how you can combine them to create ultimate beauty.
My biggest surprise about this exhibition is that it's not just about the future. It isn't about extraordinary things that could be made, but extraordinary things that have been made, and that is really incredible.
With this particular exhibition, I sort of really want to put an end to the debate about his fashion art. You know, it's dogged us since the mid-19th century when the couture was established, and I sort of feel we should move on from that. I think that you walk around the exhibition, I defy anybody not to see this as art. I mean, not all fashion is art, but good fashion is. I think that we should start asking different questions, just move on from that and ask, more deeper questions about fashion at the moment. We're in such a troubling moment in fashion. Designers are seen as being dispensable, fashion is seen as being disposable, and I think we should address more serious concerns and just accept the fact that fashion is art.
People always want to know what is it like to be at the Met Gala, and I'm like, well, I think it's like the next biggest red carpet to the Academy Awards.
It is Tom Ford. He made sure it looks D-A-P-P-E-R. I got an email from Anna Wintour one day, and she was like, hey, I want you to chair the Met Ball. I was like, am I seeing things? And here we are. I've never been to the Met Gala, no, so it's my first time. It's a beautiful experience so far.
People think of me as like a girl next door, but really, like, I was born to walking up and down the steps of the Met in a gown that extends 15 feet past my body. This is actually when I feel like I can breathe. Just me, Gaga, Zac Posen, this woman wearing coins. That's where I feel the most at home.
I'm very honored to be here with Miss Bette Midler tonight, and there's nothing more divine than divine Miss M ever.
I feel very much like I'm keeping in with the theme because this is handmade.
Right.
And these are handmade. And
but
this
there's
is
still a good
handmade.
techie, like mechanical
It has
spirit
gears.
to it.
It has
gears.
It's super comfortable. Yeah. Stretchy tape. Do you ever hear from Anna about your outfits? Does she critique my outfits? No, she doesn't speak to me.
Everyone looks so beautiful. It's astonishing.
Maybe he won't say it himself, but I know how much hours it gets to make these kind of dresses.
For sure, it's a very long process to embroider all the dresses, even if it's a short one. But what's interesting too is really the mix has the theme tonight is the technology and the handcraft. It's exactly what Alicia is reflecting.
The fact that it has spaces of skin, where you kind of can't see anything, but can you not?
Peekaboo.
This is a vintage Cartier piece.
Wow, is it heavy? Is it?
There's people from every different tract of profession and culture and contribution to society invited here tonight, and I think that makes it a very interesting evening.
So this was inspired by the movie Metropolis. To me, it was the closest material to circuitry and the inside of a machine.
she was in Europe, I was in Hong Kong, so we kind of technologically worked on it together.
Yeah, lots of phone usage, emails of sketches going back and forth, and I feel so beautiful.
I'm wearing Valentino. I mean, my kids are home doing homework, and we were like, we're going to the Met Ball tonight. And what's that?
It was like going to prom.
He asked me to prom, so we're each other's prom dates tonight. Don't you think we'll win King and Queen?
It's about 200 meters of lace trim. I love the idea of the kind of silvery lace. I thought it was fitting for the theme.
I feel like a romantic robot.
Honestly, it was Nikki. I just really thought about what would be like so gorgeous on her. I mean, she's already phenomenal and beautiful and vivacious. So I just put a little, it's like a little watercolor of black chiffon, a couple sequins.
Each flower has an LED chip individually. And all the beading you see underneath all the wires that are hidden. So it really looks beautiful. This is the real thing, and this is it responding right now to all the tweets being aggregated, yes. And it's comfortable at the same time, and I got to go. Once it says I got to go.